Hi everyone, I just wanted to update you about my low spend, no spend day yesterday. I don't know if you could really classify it as that. Here is my Walmart receipt, and then this is my gas receipt. And then I don't have receipts for these other two, but I had my son pick me up some Indian food when I was out of town, and he brought it to where I was working, and that was 20 bucks. And then I got to Venmo him in a little bit here. And then I got my hair done, which was $207. So, this is why I'm so thrifty on other things, is so that I can have some things that I like. So on my hair, I've tried dyeing it myself. I have gray that I don't like, but it comes back so quickly, and yet I'm not all gray. So, going all gray is kind of not an option because I'm not all gray, but I have very patchy gray, and so it just doesn't look good. To me, it's just not what I want to do. I am 53 or 54. I got to look, whatever 1969 is. Anyway, and it's just a choice that I'm just not quite ready for that yet to go all gray. So I used to dye it myself, and it was fine. It was like, what, $12 a box? And the problem is that within about 2 weeks, it looked about the same as if I hadn't dyed it. Like I had gray on the top and on the sides. And not just a little bit. Like, with the box ones, no matter how much I've tried to spend, it just comes right back. And so I'm taking, an hour of my time here and there every 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's harder on your hair to have it more often. So finally I went to someone, and this was when I was my normal hair color, which is a little bit darker. And they said, the only way to really not have to dye your hair all the time is to kind of go a little bit more blonde. It lets the gray ease in, it still may be there, but it's not near as visible. And so that's what I've decided to do in my life. So I did wait too long this time, and that's why it was a little bit more expensive. And 207 includes the tip too. It was about 175, and then I always give a 20% tip. This is a good friend of mine, and she has a whole story. Someday maybe I'll share that with you. But she's rebuilding her life, and and we're just helping each other. She gives me stuff to sell on eBay sometimes. But anyway, we've been friends a long time, and so the point is that if I did it myself, let's say even once a month, let's just say that I let it kind of come back and all of that. I could get by probably with, like, I don't know what hair color in the store is anymore, but let's say $12. So I waited 4 months this time. So that alone, just doing it 4 times myself, would be $48. And then if I got a haircut, which I'm just not talented enough to cut my own hair. I know it can be done. But, I think that anywhere I could go, even cheap, like at Walmart, I think it's around 20. And then I'm a believer in giving a tip. I know you don't technically have to, but I'm a believer in that. So that alone would cost me between 25 and 30, plus the hair color. So we're already upwards of like 70 or 80 bucks. And then that's just kind of a one color thing. That's no highlights, nothing. And I know it's a choice, but I like to have some highlights in my hair. I also think it offsets the gray coming back in, so I can wait a little bit longer to have to go in and get it done. That's why I was able to wait 4 months. You could tell it more in person than even on the videos, and it wasn't as if I had just had it done. But still, I think I'm probably overspending by a few hundred a year, like 100 each time I go in and let someone do it professionally, if you count the haircut and the other stuff. So, I know that's not really a no spend, low spend. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that I never ever, and when I say never ever, I mean it, I never ever buy clothes for myself that aren't from the thrift. Never. Not because I'm, thinking it's wrong to buy new clothes. It's just that because I'm in the reselling business and because I sell clothing, I find, Columbia, REI, Cool, North Face, Patagonia. I wear, pretty decently expensive clothes, but I never ever pay more than like a few dollars for a shirt or a few dollars for my jeans. Once in a very great while, if my jeans are really ripped and I only have a couple of pair and I can't find them when I'm out working, then yes, I'll splurge and, spend 20 bucks just so I don't look like I've been run over. But for the most part, that has been years ago that I've bought anything new. I just don't do it. And that's just because of I'm in that work environment. I'm sorting thousands of pieces of clothing a week anyway to try to find good stuff to resell that my customers want. And so at the same time, I'm coming upon my own size or clothing that I like. So, I think if you count the fact that for myself, I never buy any clothing of any kind, including shoes. I find brand new shoes in the thrift store, very lightly worn dress shoes and all of that. So I don't even buy shoes for myself. And honestly, I find packages of underwear and socks too in the thrift store, brand new. But even if I, have to buy that for myself once a year or something, most of the time I find my size for hugely reduced costs. So I really don't, I don't feel like I need to justify it anyway, but I know that we're trying to be thrifty. And so I think that I've kind of been as thrifty down to that level as I can. So that explains the hair color. This gas was, it is a business expense because I was going to work there, but I did stop by and see my mom and other things. So it's a legitimate business deduction because the purpose of the trip was to go work, and that's what I did. But it is money out, even for my business. That's 25 bucks. For my business itself, I spent $66 to buy things to resell. One item out of the, 15 that I got should easily pay for that, but it still is money out of my business. Now this Walmart receipt, this is where, you could definitely say that I technically overspent yesterday. I talked about on my last video how I'm just drinking more than any human should have to drink. So I bought some Dasani water there. I have a Brita, but right now I'm just not in the mood, and I need to drink a ton of bottles a day. So that was $5.72 I didn't really need to spend. Then you see a lot of Diet Pepsi and root beer and things on here. I bought some more tea bags because I've gone through so many tea bags. I don't normally let myself drink this much all day. I normally I actually have a timer up in my kitchen, more because I used to snack so much while I was working, and it was fine. Like, I still got my work done, and on my days off, like today is a Saturday and I'm downstairs working, it's a day off. So if I want to go sit in a chair and eat popcorn and work, that's technically okay. But I have recently gone to a standing desk. I don't have a chair down there anymore. And what I found was, even if I snacked on healthy stuff during the day, like popcorn, it still made me sluggish. Even if I ate beef jerky or, sausage or something like that during the day, it still was just too many calories, and I was making myself kind of lethargic during the day. So I actually have a timer up here on my old stove here. She still works. She's over 25 years old, this old stove. So I set the timer on here, and I only let myself, like after breakfast, whenever that is, I'll set the timer for 3 to 4 hours. And just to remind myself, you cannot come up here and just grab tortilla chips, grab popcorn, grab even healthy things, because first of all, it takes away from your work productivity. And secondly, it's just calories that are making you sluggish. Like by 2 in the afternoon, all that extra food and even drinks. Like, I used to come up and get water and some Dr. Pepper, and then I'd go back down, or I'd have a cup of tea. And if you look at the cost of not working, and then plus all of the extra little calories and food in my stomach, it was making me lethargic. Now, I will take a bottle of water down there sometimes in my office, but really, you can go 3 hours without water, and I drink enough at breakfast and eat enough, and then I come back up to spend time with my husband at noon. So I have even gotten to where I don't have a water bottle in my office. It's just distracting, and it takes away from how much money I can make on eBay. So now, though, you can see that, I mean, half of this list is drinks or, stuff like that. The other thing that I did, I meant to have it in front of me, but I'll show you on here. They had 90% off Christmas ornaments. And through my husband's job or career, whatever you want to call it, as a pastor, we do have to thank our volunteers every Christmas. And I mean, we have like 25 volunteers in our church. Even though our church is very small, every single person does something. And yet, on the other hand, nobody needs anything. Nobody is desperately waiting for this Christmas gift to come in, from us. And when you have 25 people to buy for, you can imagine, even if you spend, $15 a piece to get a decent gift, it really adds up. So I try when I can hit it right to pick up things that are more generic, that are just kind of a little thank you. And so next year, this will save me probably about $25 in having an extra little thing in each bag. And then now I can just buy some nuts or some other things. Hopefully I find nicer things on sale. That's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish throughout the year, is buy things that are nicer. They make the gift feel like it's more like a $25 gift, but you've really only spent 10. So you can see there, I spent a bunch of 26-cent things. Where else are we? There's some 88-cent things. Those were some Christmas clearance. Forgot what they are now. And there was a kitty cat ornament, really cheap. I'm either going to give that to a friend of mine who has a cat at Christmas, or I'm going to use that for my cat for Christmas. I'm cheap. I'm very, very cheap. I did have to spend $4.12 on some spray Lysol because, you can't wipe down like curtains. And so near where I've been sleeping, I I just wanted to spray kind of stuff that I couldn't really wipe down with a Clorox wipe, and I didn't have any on hand. It's not something I normally worry about, but the big purchases on here, I'm trying to find it for you, is that we were completely out of protein powder and cocoa, and you saw in one of my videos that that's kind of my staple breakfast. Oh yeah, this whey protein, $22.98. Ouch. And then the cocoa is on here. I think it was $3 or $4, $3.64. Those are things that I only run out of once every 3 to 4 weeks at the most, even if I'm drinking it every day, which I don't. Sometimes I have toast and other things. We have the Kodiak waffles a lot. But anyway, guys, it's telling me I'm out of time, so I'm going to get this launched for you, and you have a good day. My